odd fact, most of the tornadoes too, changing or altering because we're going into the cold months. Next year, though, not so fortunate. And we'll have hurricanes in places we've not had them before. We're going to start having them. The USA right now gets most of the hurricanes. Canada will get a taste of her. It could. It really depends on the weather patterns that are within the heart of the USA, and it depends on the water temperatures. That storm, within 10 hours, went from a 0 to a Cat 5. So that fast of a buildup, nobody had ever seen that before. No one, right? They thought that to be impossible. And now they know that these weather patterns, they have extreme developmental processes they're starting to, analyze because they're far more intense than what they should be. And atmospherically, there were some, this hurricane, when it formed, when it did that, it did something else, Sister Heidi, nobody had ever seen before. Above this hurricane it began to suck the cold air down from space itself. The ISS detected that first. Now you're talking about the air temperature is about minus 300 degrees. So it pulled it down in the center and it instantly froze the ocean surface water where it was. So you're talking about, I believe they said it was about 5 feet of ice. That was going straight down. And that actually scared some of the folks who were analyzing that data. If that would have happened over Florida, it could have easily frozen a town. You can't escape cold like that, by the way. But it does give an explanation as to why they saw prehistoric animals with food in their mouths, right? With bees still flapping, obviously, frozen near plants and things of that nature. They were actually frozen in time, frozen instant freeze. And they saw that same phenomena with this hurricane. That's when it was close to Mexico.
So say that again. Say that again. It froze. Tell us that again.
This hurricane in the center of the hurricane, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was drawing air down from the upper atmospheres. That air is extremely cold. I mean, extremely cold. And it went down to the surface of the ocean. And they saw the ocean below it, right below it, froze instantly. I mean, it was an instant freeze. At first, they couldn't understand the data, but they did later, right? So if that same process would have taken place over Florida, and that cold air, which can be up to minus 300 plus degrees, if it had come down and hit one of those cities, it would have instantly frozen people, animals. You can't hide from it. It'll go through, that type of air can penetrate at least 20 feet into the ground. So there is no 6-foot freeze layer protection from that. It does give an explanation to some of the prehistoric animals that they have found frozen with food in their mouths. Birds are frozen in flight. Bees have been frozen. They were instantly frozen on flowers, right? That same phenomenon, they believe this same thing happened back then. And it's starting to happen now. It's the first time they ever observed that, in modern times. So next year, possibly even this year, we could see more of that activity. Our atmospheres are not as steady as they used to be. We have strong fluctuations in the upper atmosphere, thinning parts of the atmosphere, or allowing more radiation in, more solar winds in. As a consequence of that, some of these storms that are forming are quite compressed. And this storm, the dynamics of the storm were just amazing. But no one had seen that before. And it actually has people a little frightened as to the potential of what could eventually happen with these hurricanes.